I know that Zoovu has obviously been partnering with Microsoft, really driving that growth and deploying across 50 retailers in around 30 countries. So if we touch on what was it that actually led Microsoft to implement the Zoovu conversational search technology?
Yeah, I think it's it's a really good question, and I would kind of look at two pivots to answer this question. I think one of the key tenets of our consumer channel sales and marketing business is this entire concept of being customer obsessed, the principle of customer obsession. So you got to always listen to your customers, hear the voices of the customers. And when we actually started looking at our customer journey, what we realized is that 1 in 3 customers used to abandon their PC purchase, just given, the choice paradox. There's, choice is good, but too much choice is bad because it becomes overwhelming for the consumer. And, all of us have had that moment when you're searching for a PC or a laptop and you type laptops or on the search bar, and then you get, reams and reams of pages of content which is getting thrown at you. So it can be quite daunting for customers. And so we were really wanting to kind of solve that problem, and then looking at from the lens of our partners as well, because we listen to our partners. And as we kind of look at from their perspective, what we realize is that our partners, like 1 and 2 partners, told us that very clearly, this is a problem which is not just specific to PCs, but Microsoft, as a trusted digital advisor to them, needs to solve this problem for them across consumer electronic categories. So from that lens as well, we felt that looking at the 2 most important people in our business, which is customers and partners, there was really an opportunity to go and look for a solution which would really help solve problems for both our customers and partners. So that's the genesis, I would say, of how we started looking for a solution. We evaluated solutions, and then we narrowed down into Zoovu as our partner to address these needs.
If we talk a little bit about kind of then the actual deployment of the assistants,
Yep.
We mentioned before that, we're live across 30 countries. Now, on the face of it, that does sound like a lot of work. But how did Microsoft actually tackle this, especially when it comes to the translations of the assistants and actually ensuring that brand consistency?
No, I think it's a really a great question. I think first of all, just one of my key learnings and reflections across all digital transformation initiatives has been like, yeah, you have technology, and technology is a great tool, but people make it happen. And so I'm really grateful to you, Lemise, Rob, and the entire Zoovu team, for leaning in, working together with Microsoft side by side as partners to really make this real. Because it does take a village to bring all these pieces together. When you kind of look at the scale of Microsoft working across 30 countries, we are present across 190 countries. So there's a huge opportunity ahead of us in that sense. Now, coming back specifically to the platform itself, I think one of the big benefits that we see with Zoovu being a cloud-based platform is that it enables us to deploy this at scale. And it's a fairly quick deployment in that sense. So you really, once you get to buy-in from the partner, the cycle time to deploy is relatively less in that sense. But I think there are 2 or 3 components which, I'd say 3 components which make it very interesting. I think one of the biggest challenges for partners is how do you structure your product data, and classify it and tag it so that your data stays clean, there's integrity of a data. And this can be quite a task without the power of using ML and some of the more sophisticated tactics that are available today that we can use from a tech perspective. So I think leveraging the power of the classifier to do that which is available in the Zoovu platform helps a lot. The second issue, which you kind of spoke about, localization, boy, that's so critical, that you kind of speak the language of consumers. You are making that experience, look, feel, sound like a voice which belongs to you, right? So you have to kind of make sure that if you are in the UAE, it has to be in Arabic and has to come out in that language. And that's where the translator, which is powered with the natural language processing technology, enables you to do things at the click of a button. So that's amazing. Again, that's something which we believe is a very useful enabler in the process of scaling. And finally, the optimizer. I think that that's an interesting thing. I think while we kind of look at each of these deployments, one of the things which we strongly believe is that every partner implementation is unique in many ways. So when we implement with a given partner, we want the entire platform to be our partner's IP. As much as we want this to be Zoovu, we want it to be integrated in the customer experience, and we want our partners to believe that this is their own solution of sorts. And in that process, we also want to make it feel like it's also an experience for a customer, where the customer is getting that experience where you can optimize the experience based on the customer journey. So that's where the optimizer comes into play, because you can actually use the question flow. You can leverage the power of machine learning and AI to make sure that we are really optimizing the questions and ensuring that the questions which are not relevant or less relevant, I would say, are eliminated from the question flow. And we can really, in that sense, optimize the entire experience to get to the best solution that's recommended from the digital assistant. So in my mind, and a lot of this is, as we see in any technology solution, it's all magic that's happening without you actually seeing it happen, right? What you see is a screen with a bunch of questions, and that's what is fascinating. The technology today enables you to really provide that human experience that you are really looking for in a store environment, online, with the help of all these tools. So it's pretty exciting to see all the stuff come to life in that sense.